Hi, welcome to Mindful Chatting, especially my private practice friends. Now, I want to start off this episode asking you to imagine your practice 1 year from today. Your practice is full. You have a waiting list, your income has maybe doubled, and people are referring to you. And think about it, on paper, everything looks really successful. But every Sunday night or the night before you're supposed to start your next day, your stomach is in knots. You're behind on your notes. You're answering emails at 10 o'clock at night. You haven't taken a lunch break in weeks and your family gets whatever energy is left over from you. And you catch yourself thinking like, I worked this hard to create freedom in my life. Why do I feel so trapped? Here's what I want you to know. That version of burnout rarely happens overnight. It's usually designed into your practice months earlier, and one small decision at a time. Today, I want to talk about how to build a practice that doesn't just make you money, but actually supports the life that you want to live. And we're going to unpack this together.
Welcome to Mindful Chatting, a podcast where therapy meets real life. I'm Kristen, a therapist, business owner, and a lifelong student of what it means to fully show up in our relationships, in our work, and in our healing. Here, we unpack mental health concepts, explore mindfulness tools, and talk through the messy, beautiful, in-between moments that shape us. Whether you're a fellow clinician, a curious listener, or someone navigating your own growth, this space is for you. Let's chat.
One of the biggest mindset shifts in private practice is realizing that every decision you make becomes a system for you. And every time you say yes to another evening client, that's a system. Every time you squeeze in just one more evaluation, well, that's a system for you. Every time you skip lunch because you're behind, well, that's a system you've created. At first, these feel like temporary sacrifices, but temporary decisions have a way of becoming permanent expectations for yourself. And one day you're going to wake up and realize I didn't build my calendar intentionally, I kind of inherited it. And this is where I want to talk about how my own journey created this burnout for myself as well. I was practicing and juggling not only my private practice, but my PsyD program, my practicum, also applying for internship, my supervision clients, my podcast, creating courses, while also being a mom of four and being the primary income earner. These were seasons of my life where my calendar looked successful. I was busy, I had a lot going on for me, but it didn't actually reflect the life that I had created and that I wanted. And I started making different decisions. I started doing what I call a time audit. I started looking at my weeks and my days going, where is all of my time going? And am I effectively using it appropriately for what little energy I may have left over in my life? And I started to think about not just about work, but about protecting my energy for the things and my values that really mattered the most to me. And after I did this time audit, I realized that I was using my time inefficiently for not only my energy levels, my ADHD, and also coming home with feeling depleted. And I go, this is not the reason why I created a private practice. I wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to do the things so that I would have energy for myself and my family when I finally got home. And that's when I started to realize that my practice was running me, and my schedule and my calendar and my commitments were actually running my life. And I was no longer doing that for myself anymore.
For any clinicians tuning in, if insurance billing is the part of your practice that drains your soul, Headway will be your best friend. They get you credentialed, send you referrals, manage your billing, submit your claims, all the stuff none of us went to grad school for. It's free to join, and honestly, it's been a huge support for therapists who want to take insurance without drowning in the administration part. My link is in the show notes if you want to check it out.
People think burnout starts when they're tired, and I think burnout starts when your calendar consistently asks for more than your life can realistically give. And it starts with every hour is being booked, or your administration time that you intentionally plan kind of disappears. Your documentation becomes an evening activity or outside of your work hours, or your meals become optional, or you're trying to scarf down food between clients. Exercise becomes a if I have time, or if I actually wake up when my alarm goes off, or your relationships get whatever is left of you. And those choices seem manageable and temporary in the moment, but they compound over time. Burnout isn't just about working too much, it's about recovering too little. So, I want to go over the 4 mistakes that quietly build your burnout. Number one, scheduling to capacity instead of sustainability. If you can see 30 clients a week, should you? Maybe, maybe not though. Capacity isn't just about the hours that you have available for your clients, it's about your emotional bandwidth. And this is what I think in most professions, we don't necessarily have to think about too much. But in being a therapist and a clinician, not only do you have to have the emotional bandwidth to show up for your client, but you actually have to have the emotional bandwidth to recover when that client leaves and be able to rebound to your next client. I can't think of a lot of other professions that require that of someone to show up for an appointment. You also have to think about the emotional bandwidth for other things in this profession that maybe we didn't necessarily go to school for, like documentation. I didn't realize how much emotional bandwidth it caused me to sit down and actually write a note, or phone calls, or being present in phone calls, or being present within supervision meetings or consultation meetings, or the emotional bandwidth you need to create marketing and short form content or even long form content, and how these are things that are maybe required of the profession to market yourself that we did not necessarily go to school for. You also think about as your family grows and as your family changes, what kind of emotional bandwidth is going to be needed for these particular roles that you're taking on. It may be easy for the first couple of kids, but as time goes on and you have more kids, you start to realize that they're going to require more emotional bandwidth from you. You also have to think about how are you showing up with your emotional bandwidth to life? Like I would come home and have all of these grand plans that I wanted to do with my kids because I missed them and I wanted to experience life with them and just have absolutely no energy for them. And then I would just be scrolling and doom scrolling on the couch while they played around me. That was not a life that I wanted to keep living. You need to build your capacity around your sustainable capacity, not your maximum capacity. And this is something I had to learn the hard way. The second step and mistake that we make is forgetting that administration is the actual part of clinical work. Your notes, your treatment plans, your insurance calls, your emails, your consultation and supervision meetings, these aren't interruptions to your job. They are part of your job. If you don't schedule them, and they will disappear. You have to create time for your administration and the things that maybe require a lot of emotional bandwidth and schedule intentional time for them. Or they will find time and it will end up in time in your evenings and outside of your work hours, which was not the reason why you wanted to be in private practice in the first place.
Here's a quick note for my clinicians listening. If you're looking for a charting and practice management system that doesn't make you want to scream, well, guess what? I use TherapyNotes. It's clean, reliable, HIPAA compliant, and honestly saves me hours every week. You can try it with my link in the show notes.
Mistake number 3 is designing a practice around your revenue instead of your lifestyle. This one was a hard one for me. I want you to ask yourself though, what do I actually want my Tuesdays or my Wednesdays or my Fridays to look like? What time do I want to be home at the end of the day? How many evenings am I willing to work for my clients that don't stretch into my evenings that I want with my family? And what kind of parent or partner or friend do I actually want to be? These answers should shape your business, not the other way around. We should creating a practice that supports our lifestyle and how we want to show up for our life. Mistake number 4, waiting until you're burned out to actually start creating boundaries. Boundaries work best before you need them. So, this is where I have hounded and encouraged in all of my prior podcast episodes to create your policies now. Protect your time now. Say no now. Future you will end up thanking you for creating these boundaries and policies and procedures so that you don't waste your precious decision making energy on these things in the moment. So, when I make decisions about my business, I kind of run them through four filters. I think about my time. Do I actually have time for this? Or how much time is this going to create or build from me? What kind of energy? Do I have the emotional capacity for this? Does this thing align with my values? Does this move me toward the life that I'm trying to build based on those questions that I asked you earlier? And then I want you to think about your sustainability. Could I realistically keep doing this from a year from now? If the answer is no, it's probably not a system, it's a sprint for you. The goal isn't to build a business you can survive, it's to build one you actually enjoy and that you wake up wanting to go to every single day. If you want to understand your ADHD in a deeper way, I've created the ADHD Crash Course, and it walks you through ADHD step by step so that you can actually start understanding your brain and not shaming it. Everything's in small, doable lessons designed for your ADHD in mind. The link is in the show notes. I think we need to stop measuring success by your full caseload, your packed schedule, and being busy all the time. And start asking better questions to yourself, like, can I leave it at work? Do I have the energy for my family? Can I take a vacation without my business falling apart? Do I still enjoy being a clinician and a therapist? To me, answering those questions, that is successful. If this episode resonated with you, remember, this is exactly why I talk so much about planning and systems. Whether you're planning your week or planning your business, the goal isn't to fit more into your life. It's to build a life that actually fits you and your values and what you're looking for. If you're looking for more practical tools on designing sustainable systems for yourself, be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Over the coming months, we'll continue breaking down everything from documentation workflows to CEO planning and long-term practice design. Your private practice should create freedom for you, not financial freedom, time freedom, mental freedom, relational freedom, because one day you'll realize you didn't just build a business, you built a life around it. Make sure it's a life that you actually want to live. Thank you for joining me. And as always, be gentle with your mind. One more thing before you go, and this helps me personally, staying present and grounded, which we all need, especially when your brain wants to spiral into disconnection. Me too. It's Brain FM. It's musically designed to help ADHD brains, well, really anyone's brain, focus, relax, or sleep, and I use it almost daily. If you want to try it, I've dropped my link in the show notes. And if you're looking for planning tools or ADHD-friendly resources, I'll keep a list of my favorite links in every episode.